I'm about to say something controversial. Every relationship you have is transactional. Every single one. And not in a cold way, not in a calculating way, but in a human way. You give something, you receive something. And if that exchange stops, the relationship starts to feel confusing. Now, this is controversial because it sounds like you're being used. And being used is a bad thing. No, it's not. So the problem is not that your relationships are transactional. The problem is no one told you that you're allowed to expect back. And that's what we're going to talk about today. In this episode, I'm going to walk you through why all relationships involve exchange, how you've been conditioned to feel bad for needing things from people, and how to recognize the difference between being used and misused. Are you ready? Let's go. What's going on? My name is Coach Lee Hopkins. My pronouns are he, him, his, and you're listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast, the podcast for late identified autistic adults who want real relationships without fake masks. Let's talk connection, clarity, and showing up as your authentic self. Now let's jump right into it. Every relationship has an exchange, so let's remove the stigma. You are meant to get something from your relationships, and that's the whole point. Connection just isn't about presence, it's about impact. It's talking to your friend and feeling understood. It's spending time with someone and feeling relaxed. It's collaborating and getting ideas, support, and momentum. The understanding, the relaxation, the ideas, support, and momentum is what you get in return. That's the exchange. And there's no manipulation. There's no selfishness. It's just participation. Now, the problem here is that if you've been conditioned to believe that you are wrong and bad for asking for something, you're going to feel uncomfortable with receiving. If you've been conditioned to believe that if you give, you have to give fully without any expectation of anyone to give you any kind of return, and you cannot ask for anything, then you have been conditioned to feel bad for expecting anything. And so it might feel uncomfortable for someone to understand you. It might feel uncomfortable for someone to perceive you. You can't feel relaxed in that space. And for collaboration, you might feel bad because people are spending time, effort, and energy giving you ideas, support, and momentum to move forward. You feel bad for something that they want to give you. You feel bad for something that you have a right to receive. And this conditioning is a huge problem in your relationships because it's one-sided. It's lopsided. Essentially, you've learned not to ask for too much. You've learned to be low maintenance. You've learned to be grateful for whatever scraps that you get. You become that friend who can be breadcrumbed. You become that person who can be breadcrumbed, where people just give you just a little bit of their time, attention, and energy, and you chase after them. And you give them more and more time, attention, and energy than they bother to give you. And you think, yeah, I'm grateful. At the very least, they responded to my text message. You stopped expecting what you really deserve. In fact, you might not even know what you deserve. So when this happens, you don't get anything that you deserve. And you find yourself being dissatisfied and frustrated and lonely in your relationships because no one knows you, no one knows what you want to give you what you want, and you dare not ask. So are you the one that's always checking in? Are you the one that's always making plans? Are you the one that's always listening? Do you often think on their side and try to be more understanding? Tell yourself that they're just busy. They've got things to do. I understand. Life is hard. And, eventually they'll come back. Eventually they'll reply to me. Eventually they'll pick up some of this heavy load and help me and support me. Eventually they'll do it. That's very wishful thinking. If you've been connected with a person for years and it's been like this, what indication do you have that things are going to change? Have you seen anything? Have they called you first? Consistently? Have they texted you first? Have they made plans? Have they reached out to you for anything? Have they been able to listen to you when you're having a hard day at work or just a hard time in general? Do they make space for you? No? Well, have you tried asking them? Probably not. No. Because if you did, you'd be selfish. Because if you did, if you thought about it, because I know some of you out there are like, oh man, I can't even think about doing that. They'll go away. You'll never get to talk to them again because they'll feel like you are asking for too much, because you don't deserve it, because it's bad. It's wrong. Relationships aren't transactional. And that kind of thinking is really what gets you used. It's really what gets you feeling dismayed and frustrated with people because they're not meeting your needs. So I want to take away that stigma. I want to try and push that away and let you know that relationships are transactional. Once again, I'm going to say this very clearly. You are meant to be used. Used as a confidant, as a friend, as someone who gives. But here's the thing. You only give to the capacity that feels good to you. You only give to the capacity that feels good to you. If it doesn't feel good to answer a call at 2 o'clock in the morning from your friend who's complaining about their cheating boyfriend, who's constantly cheating and absolutely terrible, and you've told them many, many times, you need to leave that person. You need to leave right now. And they call you and they cry, and you're just like, oh man, I don't want to do this again. Then don't. You get to determine how you are being used. If it feels good to you, if you're providing a service, if you're providing support that feels good to you, then go ahead and do it. That's real connection. But if it feels draining, if it's exhausting, you don't believe that you're getting what you need from it, then stop. Well, it's not that easy, Coach Lee, because they need me. I feel bad. Well, I'd like to challenge you on that. If you do feel bad, what's worse? Letting them figure out things on their own? Or how you feel about it? Building resentment in the relationship? Wanting to not be around them anyway? What I've found is that if I don't take care of myself first, I'm going to build resentment that is eventually going to ruin the relationship. You either do it consciously, step away consciously sooner, or resent them and blow it up later. And if this is a pattern that has shown up in your life, it's probably because you haven't put your needs first. You haven't realized that relationships are transactional and you need to get something that feels good out of it. And not just here and there, not just every once in a while, not 10% of the time, but more often than not, it needs to feel good to be connected to someone. You need to get your needs met. And if you don't know what your needs are, if you don't know how to express them, then I'm here to help you. Go to patternsofpossibility.com, click Get Coaching, and schedule a call with me. 30 minutes, I will give you at least one actionable step that you can take towards creating boundaries, towards speaking your truth, towards being open, honest, and authentic. And if you're at the point where you're frustrated with relationships, that can help you change that pattern too. Go to patternsofpossibility.com, click on Get Coaching, schedule a call with me. Now, I want to let you know, I'm going to wrap this up. If you don't define what you expect from people in your relationships, you can't really recognize what's missing. You don't know that you want to be treated a certain way because you don't know. You haven't sat down with yourself to discover that. And since you haven't sat down with yourself to discover what you need and what you want from other people, you'll struggle to articulate it. And when you struggle to articulate it, people will give you what they want you to have. They'll give you from what they're capable of giving you. And you may just accept it because you believe that relationships need to look the way they do. You can't ask for anything. It's a vicious cycle, and it's a terrible pattern to be stuck in, but it's not one that you can't break.
All right, let's wrap this up. If you've heard something today that has helped you see yourself in relationships a little differently, then I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can leave a comment here, or you can reach me at patternsofpossibility@gmail.com. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, if you could take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe, it really helps more people find these conversations and join our growing community. And speaking of community, if you're looking for a space where you can express yourself and be met with curiosity rather than rejection as a late diagnosed autistic adult, then come visit thepatternsofpossibility.com and find your community there. Learn more about what we're doing. We're connecting with others. You can be yourself and authenticity in this space. Find other people who've had your experiences, who know what you're going through, so you don't have to do this alone. Until next time, take care of your energy, and remember that connection starts when you allow yourself to be seen.